We continue to follow breaking news out of Baltimore. Search and rescue teams say as many as 6 people are still missing after a bridge collapse near the port of Baltimore. A fully loaded container ship slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing the structure to crumble and fall into the river below.
It is just remarkable seeing this video here. So this will happen around 1:30 in the morning, and the most of this bridge is in the water as an intense rescue and recovery effort continues into the night. Good Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Priscilla Casper.
I'm Glenn Jones. Workers were fixing potholes on the bridge at the time of the collapse, and authorities believe the people who are missing were all part of a construction crew. The Key Bridge is a Baltimore landmark. It spans the Patapsco River, stretching from Baltimore's inner harbor to the Chesapeake Bay. On average, about 30,000 vehicles cross this bridge each day.
Now, here is what we know at this point tonight. At least 6 people are still missing. 2 people were rescued from the water. The crew on board the container ship apparently lost control of the vessel minutes after leaving port. President Biden promises the full support and resources of the federal government in the wake of the tragedy.
Our prayers are with everyone involved in this terrible accident and all the families, especially those waiting for the news of their loved one right now. I know every minute in that circumstance feels like a lifetime.
This could have been much worse. Officials were able to stop the flow of traffic, preventing vehicles from driving onto the bridge before it collapsed.
No doubt that saved lives. Meanwhile, Governor Maura Healey is reacting to the bridge collapse. She said bridge inspections in the state are done on a regular basis. She also praised first responders.
But it's heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to the victims, their families. Also, huge kudos to the first responders, those men and women who were diving in cold water this morning, who are up in the air searching for bodies on a recovery mission. Just so grateful to so many people who do that work.
The governor also said she was supposed to be meeting with Maryland's governor this morning, but instead has offered her support during this tragedy. Meanwhile, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation held a news conference this afternoon to reassure people here in the Bay State that our bridges are safe. We have team coverage tonight, and we begin with NBC 10's Kirsten Glavin. She's live outside of MassDOT headquarters in Boston with more on what local officials are saying tonight. Good evening, Kirsten.
Glenn, Priscilla, good evening. The Mass DOT began this afternoon by offering their condolences about what happened in Baltimore. They then went on to calm concerns about local infrastructure here in the Commonwealth. Now, they told us that they have about 5,000 bridges here in the Bay State that they actively manage and are responsible for, which are inspected at least every 2 years. Out of all of those, they say there are 2 bridges in Massachusetts that are similar to the one in Baltimore due to the structure in which they were built and the maritime traffic underneath. That includes the Tobin Bridge, which connects Chelsea to Boston over the Mystic River, and the Braga Bridge, connecting Somerset to Fall River. The Tobin sees upwards of about 100,000 vehicles per day going over it. The Braga, a little less. As for under the bridges, we're told LNG tankers going under the Tobin have greatly diminished from 3 to 5 times per year. The highway administrator here adding that there are not a whole lot of similarities to what Baltimore saw every day on the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
When tragedies like this happen, it rightly brings everybody's focus onto the infrastructure that they have in their own backyards. I can tell you that from a standpoint of, is there a lot of similarity between Massachusetts and Baltimore? There is not. We are not the same size port as they have in Baltimore. We don't have the same size navigable waterways, nor the same size bridges. But again, we do have similar situations.
The DOT says that they will be monitoring the findings from federal partners as they learn more about this investigation into what happened in Baltimore. They also say that they will make sure to share those updates and that safety is their #1 priority. We're live in Boston. I'm Kirsten Glavin, NBC 10 Boston.
Definitely reassuring, Kirsten, especially when people drive home on those bridges tonight. Thank you. Meanwhile, navigating the waters around a major city can be difficult and especially dangerous. Our NBC 10's Eli Rosenberg has that part of the story. He's joining us live from the Tobin Bridge to explain this one tonight. Eli?
Yeah, the big question this afternoon going into tonight, could something like what happened in Baltimore happen here? We're along Boston Harbor. You'll recognize the bridge here. This is the Tobin Bridge. And today we're going inside the Mass Maritime Academy down in Buzzards Bay, learning how the next generation of sailors and cadets are preparing to pass under bridges just like this.
We're in the pilot house of a large container ship.
At the Mass Maritime Academy in Buzzards Bay, cadets are taught this: passing under a bridge in a massive ship is never easy.
It's certainly one of the most technically challenging things that we would encounter.
And that is why so much time is spent in this simulator, giving cadets first-hand experience before they even get on the water.
So it can take up to a mile for some of these ships to get stopped, depending on the circumstances. So we really need to think well out miles ahead of the ship.
On the water in Boston Harbor this afternoon, the tragedy in Baltimore top of mind. This large ship receiving a tugboat escort as it headed into Boston Harbor.
Anytime a ship moves, there are tugboats alongside and they're fully escorted and operating at a slow speed.
Bob Blair is the head of the Mass Bay Harbor Safety Commission, which helps keep Boston Harbor safe.
We operate a very robust, very skillful system in the Port of Boston with pilots and tugboats.
So this is the electronic chart, or ECTIS.
Back at Mass Maritime, with the investigation just getting underway in Baltimore, leaders here say it will no doubt be incorporated into future lessons and possibly into this simulator as well for the next generation of sailors and sea pilots.
In confined waters like this is certainly one of the more challenging things that the bridge team and the entire ship's crew will experience, but it's not uncommon by any means.
And just a minute ago, you heard Kirsten mention some of the differences between Boston and Baltimore on the water. Talking with experts today, they also tell us one big difference is the fact some of the largest ships that come into Boston, those container ships, cruise ships, well, they don't get this far into Boston Harbor that they get anywhere near the busiest bridge, the Tobin, one more. You see how the legs of the Tobin are so far apart, so close to shore? That's another safety precaution, giving ships that pass through plenty of clearance. Live in Boston, Eli Rosenberg, NBC 10 Boston.